Rain fell like tears from the heavens that night. The old shrine stood silent in the dark forest, its roof half broken, its air filled with the smell of smoke and blood. Inside, Chidima knelt before a black clay pot, trembling. Her wrapper was soaked. Her lips shook as she whispered, "I'm ready. I'll do anything for my husband." A tall old man dressed in rags, known in the village as Dibia Nana, the most feared native doctor, stared at her through the thick smoke. His eyes were red, his voice deep like thunder. "You say you want your husband to be rich, to be powerful?" he asked. "Yes," Chidima cried. "He has suffered enough. I'm tired of poverty." Bidibia smiled slowly, showing yellow teeth. "Then tonight," he said, "you must do what no woman has ever done. You must lie with the madman." Chidima froze. "What do you mean?" she whispered. He pointed to the dark doorway. From the shadows, a filthy, half-naked man crawled out, his hair wild, eyes empty, mouth whispering nonsense. Everyone in the village called him Mad Patrick. Chidima's heart stopped. "No," she screamed. "That's a madman." The Dibia's voice rose sharply. "Then forget riches. Forget your husband. Let him die poor and useless." Lightning cracked across the sky. The pot on the floor began to shake. Chidima covered her ears. Her husband, Emeka, was lying sick at home. He hadn't eaten for 3 days. Their small shop had burnt down last month. His friends mocked him. He couldn't even buy medicine for his own mother. Chidima remembered how Emeka once said, "If I can just make it in life, I'll build you a house, my love. I'll never let you suffer again." Now, his life was fading, and she was the only one who could save him. Tears rolled down her face as she looked at the madman again. He was muttering and laughing, his body covered in dirt, but his eyes suddenly turned red like fire. The Dibia raised his staff. "If you do this, your husband will rise by morning. But remember, every blessing from the gods carries a curse." Chidima's body shook. She turned toward the door, ready to run. But before she could move, the wind howled, the fire dimmed, and a deep voice whispered from nowhere, "Stay, or he dies before sunrise." She screamed and fell to her knees. Then everything went dark. Few months earlier, life was different. Chidima and Emeka were once the happiest couple in the village. She sold food at the market. He repaired radios and phones. They laughed, loved, and dreamed of a better life. But everything changed when Emeka trusted his friend Obina with their business money. Obina ran away to the city with it. From that day, their joy became sorrow. They borrowed money to survive. They stopped eating meat. Then, Emeka fell sick, weak and coughing blood. One Sunday morning, Chidima sat by his bedside. "We need a miracle," she said softly. "God will help us," Emeka whispered, forcing a smile. But when she went to church later that day, the pastor refused to pray for free. "Bring 10,000 naira, he said coldly. "Then we can talk." Chidima left the church crying. That evening, she met Mama Nkechi, a neighbor known for her gossip. "My daughter," Mama Nkechi said, lowering her voice, "if you truly want your husband to live, there is someone who can help, but his ways are dark." That was how Chidima found herself walking into the forest at midnight, carrying a white hen and a calabash of palm oil. She wanted to save her husband's life. She never imagined the price she would have to pay. Back to the shrine. Chidima opened her eyes. The Dibia stood before her again. "It is time," he said. The madman crawled closer, his laughter echoing in the night. The wind grew wild. The firelight danced across her terrified face. She looked at the black pot again, smoke rising from it like ghostly hands. Her heart pounded. Her mind screamed, "No!" But her love whispered, "Yes." Trembling, she closed her eyes and whispered, "For Emeka." Bidibia clapped his hands, chanting words she didn't understand. The madman's laughter mixed with thunder, and then everything went silent. The forest stopped breathing. The gods were watching. The next morning, something impossible will happen and Emeka will wake up a different man. When the first cock crowed, Chidima woke up on the cold floor of the shrine. Her body hurt all over. Her wrapper was torn. The madman was gone. Only silence and ashes remained. She looked around, dizzy and weak. The Dibia was sitting by the fire, smiling like someone who had seen the future. "It is done," he said calmly. "Go home and don't look back." Chidima's voice was shaking. What? What happened? Idibia raised his hand. "Don't ask questions, the gods forbid. When you reach home, wash yourself in salt water. Then wait. Before the sun sets, your husband will rise and the world will bow to him." She stared at him, terrified. And the madman, he laughed, deep and strange. "The gods take what they need. Go, woman." Chidima picked her torn wrapper, stumbled into the morning light, and ran. Her feet were muddy, her heart heavy, her soul full of fear. By the time she reached her house, the sun was rising over the village. Neighbors were sweeping their compounds, smoke rising from cooking fires. She rushed into her room and froze. Emeka was sitting up on the bed, alive, awake, smiling. "Chidima," he whispered, "I just had the strangest dream. A man in white poured water on me and said, 'Rise and shine.'" Chidima gasped. Her knees gave way. She crawled to him, touching his face like she couldn't believe it. "You're alive?" He laughed softly. "I feel strong, stronger than ever." She hugged him tightly, tears pouring down her face. It was true. The gods had done it. But deep in her heart, something felt wrong, a coldness she couldn't explain. 2 days later, Emeka stepped outside for the first time since his sickness. As he walked through the market, people turned to stare. His skin glowed like polished wood. His eyes were sharp. Even his voice sounded deeper. He passed by a lottery stand and bought a ticket, something he'd never done before. That night, when the results came out, the whole village shouted his name. Emeka had won 10 million naira. Chidima screamed, running into the streets barefoot. People danced, drummers beat their drums, and everyone called them the blessed couple. They moved into a big new house in the city. Emeka bought cars, opened shops, and started wearing gold chains. He hired workers and built a big signboard, Emeka Global Enterprises. But with every blessing, something dark followed. At first, he was the same humble man Chidima loved. But as weeks passed, his behavior changed. He stopped praying. He started waking up at night to stare into the mirror for hours. Sometimes, Chidima would find him whispering strange words she didn't understand. One morning, he slapped a worker for bringing his tea late. Another day, he told Chidima coldly, "Don't tell me what to do. I am a man of power now." She cried, but he only walked away, laughing like someone she didn't know. At night, when he slept, he would shout the name Patrick in his dreams. The first time she heard it, her blood went cold. Patrick the madman. One evening, Chidima was arranging clothes in their new house when she heard Emeka shouting from the backyard. She ran outside and froze. He was standing under the mango tree, talking to someone invisible. "You again," he shouted. "What do you want from me?" There was nobody there, only darkness and wind. She tried to touch him, but he turned suddenly, his eyes red. "Don't touch me," he screamed. Then his voice softened. "Patrick says he's not done yet. He says we made a deal." Chidima stepped back, terrified. "Emeka, what are you saying?" He grabbed his head, shaking violently. "He's in here. He's inside me. He fell to the ground, screaming. The lights flickered. The air turned cold. Chidima screamed for help. But when the neighbors rushed in, Emeka was calm again, smiling like nothing happened. I'm fine, he said, just tired. The neighbors left, whispering. But Chidima couldn't sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the madman's face smiling in the dark. 3 nights later, there was a knock at her door. When she opened it, an old woman stood there, her eyes clouded with white. I am Mama Edo, the woman said softly. The Dibia's sister. I came to warn you. Chidima stepped back, afraid. Warn me about what? The old woman sighed. The spirit of madness does not give without taking. You brought it into your home. Your husband's wealth came from the man you lay with, and soon he will come to claim what is his. Chidima's mouth fell open. No, no, please, tell me what to do. Mama Edo looked at her sadly. When the moon turns red, the madman will return. He will come for the one he lost, and your husband will not be able to stop him. Then she turned and vanished into the night fog. Chidima collapsed, trembling, whispering to herself, what have I done? What have I done? She ran to Emeka's room, but he was gone. The bed was empty, the window wide open, the night full of whispers. That night, the moon hung low and red, just as the old woman had said. The air in Umuola was cold and heavy, even the crickets refused to sing. Chidima ran barefoot through the village streets, calling her husband's name. Emeka! Emeka! Where are you? Her voice echoed through the quiet night. Her heart pounded, and her eyes burned with tears. Everywhere she turned, people whispered behind doors. She's gone mad, someone said. Her husband's riches came from strange powers, another whispered. But Chidima didn't care. She loved Emeka too much to stop searching. By night, she reached the forest edge, the same path that led to Dibia Nana's shrine. She hesitated for a moment, clutching her chest. The last time she walked that path, she lost her peace forever. Still, love pushed her forward. The trees loomed like dark spirits, and strange birds cried in the distance. The air grew colder the deeper she went. Then she heard it a faint sound. Someone was chanting softly. She followed the voice until she saw a dim light flickering behind thick bushes. She pushed them aside, and what she saw made her knees weak. Emeka was kneeling inside a small cave. Around him were burning candles and black pots filled with red liquid. His face was calm, his body bare from the waist up, and across his chest, strange marks glowed faintly like fire. Standing before him was a shadow, tall and shaking, whispering in a voice that sounded both human and animal. You promised me, Emeka, the voice said. You promised we would be one forever. Chidima gasped. It was the madman's voice, Patrick. The shadow slowly turned. Even in the darkness, she could see his face now, half burnt, half smiling, the same filthy look, but with glowing red eyes. Chidima wanted to run, but her feet refused to move. Patrick, she whispered. The shadow smiled wider. Ah, Chidima, my beautiful wife. She froze. No, you're not my husband. The shadow laughed, his voice echoing through the cave walls. But you gave yourself to me. You gave me life again. The moment you touched me, our souls became one. He pointed at Emeka, and now he carries my spirit. He is me, and I am him. Chidima screamed, leave him alone. Please, take me instead. But Patrick shook his head slowly. It's too late for that. When a woman lies with madness, madness becomes part of her blood. Emeka's eyes rolled back. His body shook violently. Then, his voice changed deep and broken. Chidima, he's inside me. Help me. The candles flickered wildly. The pot started to shake. The smell of blood filled the air. Chidima dropped to her knees, crying. God, please, I didn't know. I only wanted to save him. TJ ground trembled. Patrick's laughter grew louder and louder. You can't serve two masters, he said. You called the gods of madness to give you wealth. Now they want their share. Suddenly, Emeka's body went still. His eyes opened blooming red. He turned toward Chidima and smiled. My wife, he said in Patrick's voice. Come to me. She screamed and crawled backward. No, you're not Emeka. He stood up slowly, his movements stiff like a puppet. Do you remember that night? He whispered. The thunder, the fear, the fire. Her heart pounded. Please stop. He stretched his hand toward her. It's time we finish what we started. The candles went out. Darkness swallowed everything. Chidima ran. She ran through the forest, branches cutting her skin, tears blinding her eyes. Behind her, she heard footsteps heavy and fast. Chidima, the voice read. You can't run from your husband. She screamed, falling into the mud, her wrapper tore, her hands bleeding. Then silence. She turned slowly. No one was there, only the whisper of the wind. She stood up, panting, and stumbled toward the village. By the time she reached home, the sun had risen. She collapsed by the door, too weak to move. When she opened her eyes, she was lying on her bed. A young man dressed in white sat beside her. His eyes were calm but powerful. Who are you? She whispered. My name is Brother Gabriel, he said softly. I'm from the prayer mountain. I heard your cries last night in a dream. Chidima sat up slowly. You saw me in a dream? He nodded. You made a deal with darkness, but the blood of the innocent can still save your soul. She started crying again. Please, help me. I didn't mean to. I just wanted my husband to leave. Brother Gabriel placed his hand on her head. The gods of madness are angry. If we don't act fast, Emeka will become what Patrick once was, a mad spirit trapped between worlds. Chidima's eyes widened. Can you stop it? He looked at her sadly. Only if you confess everything before sunrise tomorrow. Every detail, every sin. She nodded, trembling. I'll do it. I'll do anything. That night, Brother Gabriel lit 7 candles around Chidima's bed. He began to pray, his voice firm and deep. But as he prayed, the wind started to blow through the window, strong and cold. The candles flickered. A voice whispered from the corner of the room. Too late. Chidima sat up, her heart racing. Brother Gabriel shouted, Who's there? Show yourself. Suddenly, the mirror in the room cracked, and Emeka's face appeared inside it. He was smiling, but his eyes were red. You can't save me, the voice said. You can't save yourself. Chidima screamed and grabbed the Bible, pressing it to her chest. Brother Gabriel shouted louder. The blood of Jesus speaks louder than madness. The wind howled. The light went out. The mirror shattered completely. When the candles came back on, the room was quiet. But Emeka was gone again, and a trail of muddy footprints led out the door. Brother Gabriel's face turned pale. He's heading back to the forest, he said. The final stage has begun. Chidima's lips trembled. What do you mean? He looked her in the eyes. If we don't reach him before midnight, he'll become the next Dibia possessed forever. Chidima clutched her wrapper tightly, her voice shaking. Then I'll go with you. I brought this curse into my home. I must end it with my own hands. The moon was full that night. The forest of Umuola was alive again, not with animals, but with whispers. Cold wind danced through the trees, carrying strange laughter that echoed from deep within. Chidima and Brother Gabriel stood at the edge of the forest, their lamps shaking in their hands. Her face was pale, but her eyes burned with determination. Are you ready? Brother Gabriel asked quietly. Chidima swallowed hard. Yes, I must see this through. He nodded, opened his Bible, and began to chant prayers as they stepped into the darkness. Every step they took, the forest grew colder. Owls hooted in the distance. Shadows moved between trees. Chidima could hear whispers calling her name softly. Chidima, my wife. She froze. That voice, it was Emeka's, but twisted, like two voices speaking at once. Brother Gabriel tightened his grip on his cross. Don't answer. Keep walking. He's trying to draw you in. But Chidima couldn't help herself. Tears ran down her face. Emeka, please, where are you? Suddenly, the ground shook beneath them. The trees bent backward as a blast of wind blew their lamp out. Darkness swallowed them whole. From the shadows, glowing red eyes appeared, first one pair, then another, until dozens of them surrounded them. Brother Gabriel raised his Bible and shouted, Light of God, appear. A flash of white light burst from his hands. The eyes vanished, leaving behind a single figure standing in front of the old shrine. It was Emeka, but not the man she once knew. His body was covered in black marks. His eyes glowed red, and his mouth twisted in a strange smile. In his hand, he held a wooden staff wrapped with red cloth and feathers. You shouldn't have come, Chidima, he said slowly. You belong to me already. Chidima's voice shook. Please, Emeka, fight it. Don't let him control you. He laughed. I am not being controlled. I am him now. Patrick's blood runs through me. Brother Gabriel stepped forward, raising his Bible. Spirit of madness, you have no power here. Emeka turned to him sharply. You dare challenge the gods of the shrine. The staff in his hand burst into flames. He swung it at Gabriel, but the pastor blocked it with his Bible, sparks flying in the air. The forest shook as their voices collided, one calling darkness, the other light. Chidima fell to her knees, covering her ears as the screams of unseen spirits filled the forest. Tears streamed down her face. Please, God, forgive me, she cried. I didn't know what I was doing. Suddenly, a bright light fell from the sky and surrounded her. Inside the light, she saw the madman Patrick standing calmly, his face no longer angry or wild. You freed me, he said softly. The Dibia trapped my spirit here long ago. When you came that night, your act joined us. But now, you must decide who will stay and who will go. She shook her head, confused. I don't understand. Patrick pointed at Emeka, who was still struggling with Brother Gabriel. If you give up your life, I can set him free. But if you refuse, he will live as me forever. Chidima's heart broke. She looked at her husband, the man she once loved, the man she sinned for. He was shouting, his body burning with strange lights. Chidima, help me. She cried out loud, beating her chest. Take me, take my life, just let him go. The forest went silent. Patrick smiled sadly. Love is the only pure sacrifice. He stretched out his hand, and a bright wind surrounded her. Chidima's body began to glow white and gold as she whispered her last words. Tell him, I forgive him. Then, she vanished into the light. When the light faded, Emeka fell to the ground, unconscious. Brother Gabriel rushed to him, placing his hand on his head and praying until the flames around him disappeared. The red marks on Emeka's body turned to ashes. The wind stopped. The forest was quiet again. When Emeka finally opened his eyes, he looked around in confusion. Where is Chidima? Brother Gabriel helped him sit up slowly. She saved you. Tears filled Emeka's eyes. No, no, she can't be gone. But when he looked at the sky, a soft golden butterfly landed on his shoulder, glowing faintly in the moonlight. He whispered her name, and the butterfly fluttered away into the trees. Emeka broke down crying, clutching the earth, begging for forgiveness. Brother Gabriel placed a hand on his shoulder. You must use this second chance well. Evil gives fast riches, but love gives lasting peace. Remember that. Years later, he gave away his cars, sold his companies, and built a small orphanage in Chidima's name. Children called him Papa Chi. He lived humbly, teaching them to stay away from greed and shortcuts. Every evening, he sat under the mango tree, staring at the sunset, whispering, "My wife, I hope you're proud of me now." And sometimes, when the wind blew softly, he could hear her voice answer, "I am." Moral lessons. Some blessings come wrapped in darkness. If you rush into them, you pay with your soul. True love isn't shown by how far you go for riches, but how much you're willing to lose for peace. Never seek power from evil. What it gives, it will take back double. A woman's love can build or destroy, but her sacrifice lasts forever. If you were in Chidima's place, would you do what she did to save your husband's life? Tell us your answer in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story so others can learn that some riches cost too much. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories about love, family, and life lessons. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thank you for watching.